We use the word culture in a lot of ways, right? The quality in a person or society that rises from a concern of what is regarded as excellent in arts, letters, manners, scholarly pursuits. We talk about high culture. We talk about culture as being a particular form of civilization. Greek culture, Roman culture, Victorian culture. A condition conducive to being cultivated. Tissue culture, plant culture, the culture in test tubes. Or, and I think this is what we're really getting at here, the behaviors and beliefs, characteristics of a particular group. Youth culture, drug culture, Japanese culture, local culture, Facebook culture, office culture. It's not easy to define, but it does tend to refer, I think, to the composite of beliefs and attitudes that we think a particular group has about it. I'm from Canada, and the Canadian Privacy Commissioner here, this is a joke that's often made about my country. We tend to think about building privacy cultures in organizations. Developing a privacy culture in a healthcare organization. It's considered to be a good thing in the discourse that surrounds this subject. A set of attitudes, assumptions, norms, behaviors that are expected and that go unquestioned. A set of expectations that underpin the formal rules. The arguments here in building a privacy culture, essentials for building a privacy culture, is that once that privacy culture is there in an organization or in a group, the rules are they're important, but they don't necessarily kick in. They don't necessarily have to be enforced, because you know that most people in that organization or in that group sort of obey, sort of understand. It's become routine, normal, and hopefully preventative. And for as long as we've been talking about privacy and data protection, people have been saying that it is necessary to build into an organization those expectations, those routines, those norms. I'm a political scientist, and I've taught political science for about 20 years now, a bit longer. And on a broader level, therefore, when we're talking about culture, we also have to consider the way that thinking about privacy and thinking about how people's responses to privacy develop are embedded within broader set of attitudes about politics. Now, that's one of my important points here. And so people who study politics talk about political culture as if you can look at the sum of the fundamental values, sentiments, and knowledge that give form and substance to political process, or the pattern of individual attitudes and orientations toward politics among members of a political system. So when we're thinking about privacy or data protection, it's very important to understand that all of those attitudes are embedded in a broader set of attitudes about one's attitude towards the state, towards politics, towards participation in a lot of things. Three elements here are very important: cognitive, affective, and evaluative. Cognitive refers to what you know, what you actually know about your system. Is there a data protection authority? That's a factual question. Affective aspects. The warm and fuzzy feeling about your place. Whether, the monarchy, the flag, the affective dimensions, and then finally evaluative dimensions, what should be. And the notion of culture embraces all three of those things. Cognitive, what is; affective, what we feel; and what we think should be evaluative. And it's important to keep that in mind when we're thinking about this notion.